This war did not start with one missile. It did not start with one protest. And it did not start in 2026. It began decades ago with a nuclear program, broken trust, proxy wars, and rising tension that never truly cooled. A deal collapsed. A region ignited. A leader was killed. And the Middle East changed forever. Today, I'm breaking down the complete chain of events that brought Iran, Israel, and the United States into open war. Stay with me, because this is one of the most dangerous turning points of our time. Welcome back to the channel where we break down global conflicts, historical turning points, and the real forces shaping today's world, clearly and without confusion. If you value deep context over headlines, you're in the right place. Let's rewind to where this truly began. At the center of this entire conflict is one issue: Iran's nuclear program. In 2015, Iran signed the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, commonly called the Iran Nuclear Deal. The agreement restricted Iran's uranium enrichment and nuclear development in exchange for sanctions relief from the United States and European powers. For a short time, tensions cooled. But in 2018, President Donald Trump withdrew the United States from the deal, arguing it did not permanently stop Iran's nuclear ambitions and failed to address Iran's missile program and regional influence. Sanctions were reimposed. Iran gradually resumed expanding its nuclear capabilities. Israel viewed a nuclear-capable Iran as an existential threat, a direct threat to its survival. From that point forward, the region entered a slow-burning escalation. For years, Iran and Israel fought indirectly. Iran supported regional groups hostile to Israel, including Hamas in Gaza and Hezbollah in Lebanon. Israel conducted covert operations inside Syria and reportedly inside Iran, targeting weapons shipments, scientists, and military infrastructure. Then came October 7, 2023. Hamas launched a devastating attack on Israel. Israel blamed Iran for backing and funding the group. What followed was the first direct exchange of large-scale missile and drone strikes between Iran and Israel in 2024. The shadow war was no longer hidden. It was out in the open. In June 2025, the International Atomic Energy Agency declared Iran was violating nuclear non-proliferation obligations. Shortly after, Israel launched direct military strikes inside Iran, targeting nuclear facilities, missile factories, air defense systems, and senior military officials. Iran retaliated with hundreds of ballistic missiles and more than 1,000 drones aimed at Israeli cities and military sites. The United States entered the fight by intercepting Iranian attacks and later striking Iranian nuclear facilities directly. Iran then fired missiles at a U.S. base in Qatar. For 12 days, the region stood on the edge of full-scale regional war. A ceasefire was eventually reached under U.S. pressure, but the damage was temporary. Iran's nuclear infrastructure was weakened, not eliminated, and tensions were now higher than ever. While missiles dominated headlines, something equally dangerous was happening inside Iran. By late 2025, the Iranian economy was in severe crisis. The national currency collapsed. Inflation soared. Basic goods became unaffordable. Mass protests erupted across more than 100 cities, the largest unrest since 1979. Protesters called not just for economic relief, but for regime change. Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei responded with force. Security forces cracked down harshly. Dozens, possibly hundreds, were killed in violent confrontations. Iran was unstable internally, and externally it remained locked in confrontation with Israel and the United States. In February 2026, emergency negotiations were held in a last attempt to limit Iran's nuclear activities and avoid further escalation. The talks failed. On February 28, 2026, the United States and Israel launched a coordinated military operation. On the U.S. side, it was known as Operation Epic Fury. On the Israeli side, Operation Roaring Lion. The strikes targeted Iran's air defenses, naval assets, missile facilities, and command centers. In a dramatic development, Iran's supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, was killed during the operation. This was a historic moment. For over 3 decades, he had been Iran's highest authority. His death marked the beginning of open war. Iran responded immediately and broadly. Missiles were launched at Israeli cities. U.S. bases across the Gulf region were targeted. Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar, Jordan, and the United Arab Emirates reported strikes or missile interceptions. In the UAE, debris from intercepted missiles caused civilian casualties and infrastructure damage. The war had now expanded beyond 3 nations. The Gulf states, which had long tried to avoid direct involvement, were suddenly on the front line. As of early March 2026, thousands of strikes have been conducted. Israel and the United States continue targeting Iranian military infrastructure and air defenses. Iran continues retaliatory strikes across the region. Diplomatic channels are nearly frozen. The Middle East stands at one of its most volatile moments in decades. This war was not triggered by one event. It was built over decades. Nuclear ambition, proxy warfare, regional rivalry, economic collapse, political repression, and failed diplomacy. History did not explode overnight. It simmered, and then it erupted. Thank you for watching. If this breakdown helped you understand what's happening beyond the headlines, drop your thoughts in the comments. Like this video to support the channel, and subscribe for more deep, clear stories that explain the world as it truly unfolds. I'll see you in the next one.